at fullback, Steve Morris and Dennis Kincella on the wing, Brian Johnston and Michael O'Connor in the centre. Rogers is at 5'8", Henjack is the halfback, and the forwards, Trudgett is the lock forward, second row Graham Buckley and Chris Walsh. Craig Young returns to the team in the prop forward position with Pat Jarvis, and John Dowling is the hooker. Anderson and Conlon on the wings, Farah and Peter Mortimer in the centre, Gary Hughes, Tony Davies, Stephen Folkes, Phil Gould, Mick Pittman, and the front row, Jeff Robinson, Billy Johnston and Taz Batiri. But then again, who'd be a fullback? Now the goal line drop out, bouncing away from Chris Anderson. Andrew Farah picking it up. Got a big opinion of this Andrew Farah, Bob. He's a player who can adapt to any position.
Yes, he can turn a game also, and he's got a good step and a good turn of pace, and he's very, very strong, as you can see out here today.
Now this is Tony Davies. Robinson.
St George obviously having trouble with Jeff Robinson. They do well to tackle him a bit lower.
Now here's Johnson from dummy half, almost to the quarter line. So Canterbury again finding themselves in a good attacking position. Davies and Hughes, Peter Mortimer, Conlon from the wing, able to get a good ball away to his brother, to Tony Davies. The ball is loose, but gee, a promising Canterbury raid then.
The game's been going just on 18 minutes, and basically that's the first clean break that's been made. Just shows you this quality of...
Certainly a scrum that Dowling needed to win, because Canterbury had been applying plenty of pressure. The goal line dropout is down there for Davies on his own half, on the halfway mark now. Gould, content to take the tackle, not looking to unload. Canterbury props working in pairs. Batiri and Robinson. Now here's Hughes. Inside for Farah. Back with Davies. He's over the quarter. So Canterbury again have the St George defence under plenty of pressure. Gould inside for Batiri. Last tackle again for Canterbury. Brian Johnson will be saying his prayers. He's going to be let off because they've elected not to kick. Instead, Peter Mortimer made the break. Got it away to Anderson. Over the ball. Well, they certainly caught them napping. St George were waiting for that kick, I'm certain of that, but they elected to run the ball instead.
Good Canterbury play here. Gary Hughes, long pass across to Mortimer. And Chris Anderson, all he had to do was run for the line, beats Johnson and goes over wide out.
Gould. Canterbury working their way back into a strong attacking position again. They're only 15 metres out from the St George line. It's with Stephen Folkes. They're working a move here, I feel. It's come out to the sixth tackle in any case. It's with Davies. Now Hughes, a switch of play to Chris Mortimer, who burst into the back line like a steam train. But his pass has gone astray. Scooped up by Steve Rogers. Intact for the second half. St George with it all to do, and already they're repeating their first half performance by putting the ball down very early. Bob Fulton, St George into the wind and trailing as Canterbury get the penalty. So that lead of 4-0 could in fact be changed to 6-0 very shortly, and Craig Young, not the happiest man I've seen. Now here's Batiri, held by Jarvis. Davies, nowhere to go. Johnston on to Robinson, straight into those St George forwards. Robinson hits the line very, very hard. Now Canterbury in a good attacking position again. It's back with Gould, a change of play, back to Chris Mortimer. And Mortimer has got to the 10-metre mark before he's grounded. Here's Johnston running from dummy half to Anderson. Anderson trying to get around one player, he did so, but finally held. Last tackle for Canterbury. For sure, I was going to say for sure there'd be a bomb, but they haven't done it. It's back and it's very close, and he's lunged at the line. he's awarded a try. Chris Mortimer has come up with the try for Canterbury. Well, I was about to say for sure they'll bomb here, but they didn't. Anderson, at least Johnston, ran from that dummy half position and got a one-handed pass back to Chris Mortimer, who lunged at the line and got there.
Good play by Billy Johnson, again on the 5th tackle. Takes the play away from dummy half, just throws it back in, and the St George defence put...
Leeds St George 0. St George have it all to do, running into a very strong southerly wind and trailing by 8 points to 0. And here's Anderson bursting through the ruck as if there was paper-thin defence. He's been interfered with by Johnson, but Robinson's chasing it through. He can't pick it up. Anderson's picked it up, but referee Barnes calling it back for a knock-on by Jeff Robinson, I believe. Now it's Henjack. Jarvis. Can the Saints put something on? Slippery Morris. A bomb that's gone straight up in the air. And a penalty to St George. The Canterbury player was offside. There's Batiri. He's hit this one and makes no mistake, so the Saints stay in the game. Canterbury now 8 leading St George. Phil Gould will probably get it. Now I'm wrong again, it's back to Chris Mortimer. It's a luxury having a number of kickers in your team. Johnson takes it nicely for the Saints and got a good pass away to O'Connor. Still going strongly, O'Connor got a corner line, he's still going. Andrew Farron.
The defence is not too bad out wide either, and they seem to be coping fairly well.
Yeah, no real problem for the Canterbury defence out there. Here's an awkward bounce. Craig Young's got it. Oh, Craig Young's kick. What an awful kick. Oh, dear, oh dear. A left footer and off the edge by one of my goal shots.
That's a comedy Davis.
Oh, Taz Batiri is caught about 30 metres out from the St George line. Phil Gould.
They'll obviously be looking for a field goal here with the different 6.
Davies still on the quarter line. This is Spotswood getting into a handy position for a drop goal. Here it comes. Hughes. It's a low trajectory kick, but the referee says it's wide. And St George restart with a 22 place kick. 2.5 minutes of this match remaining. Now here's Henjack and Craig Young. Very cleverly got his hands free and offloaded to Jansen. Morris. Back to Jansen. Nowhere to go. Gould's there to hold him. Billy Johnson into assist. And still they spin it wide, but again, bad passing out there. Buckley was involved. And Canterbury come up with it via Chris Anderson. He's swooped on plenty of loose balls out there today, Chris Anderson.
He's been everywhere, and he's had a damn good captain's knock.
Spotswood. Now Batiri straight up the middle. I guess again we'll see another field goal attempt. They're right in front this time. Hughes is ready for it. It's back with Hughes, but St George knew it. Steve Morris saw him waiting for it and put him under pressure. But now here's Chris Mortimer. Now it's Phil Gould. He's going to try a field goal. That looks a better kick. It's a magnificent kick from Phil Gould. Straight over the black dot. And Canterbury makes down edge further in front by 9 points to 2. This is how he did it. That was a great kick.
They went around the world to get it, didn't they?
And it's all over at Cogra. And Canterbury Bankstown have defeated St George by 9 points to 2. The statistics, the penalties, there were 24 of them. 13 went to Canterbury, 11 to St George. The scrums favoured the Saints 10-7, but the final score, Canterbury Bankstown 9 have defeated St George 2.
Don't forget to subscribe, add your comments, and share your memories. If you have any old VHS tapes or even DVD to dispose, let me know. Drop me an email on seaeagle666@gmail.com.